Before we begin today's video, I wish to give a huge thanks to 5 stars for the artwork and intro that he provided for my channel. Link to his channel is in the description. Definitely go and check it out. A mummy is a corpse which has been preserved intentionally or due to other natural causes such as extreme cold, for example. Today, we count down 4 famous bodies which have been mummified. Elmer MCCurdy. Elmer MCCurdy was an outlaw killed in a gunfight in the Osage Hills in Oklahoma. A newspaper account gave Elmer's last words as, "You'll never take me alive." His body was taken to a funeral home in Oklahoma. When no one claimed the corpse, the undertaker preserved it with an arsenic-based preservative and allowed people to see the bandit who wouldn't give up for a nickel placed in Elmer's mouth, which the undertaker would later collect. 5 years later, a man showed up from a nearby traveling carnival claiming to be Elmer's long-lost brother, wanting to give the corpse a proper burial. Within 2 weeks, however, Elmer was a featured exhibit with the carnival. For the next 60 years, Elmer's body was sold to wax museums, carnivals, and haunted houses. The owner of a haunted house near Mount Rushmore refused to purchase him because he thought that Elmer's body was actually a mannequin and not lifelike enough. Eventually, however, the corpse wound up in the Laugh in the Dark funhouse at the Long Beach Pike amusement park in California. During filming of The $6 Million Man, shot in December of 1976, a crew member was moving what was thought to be a wax mannequin that was hanging from the gallows. When the mannequin's arm broke off, it was discovered that it was in fact the mummified remains of Elmer MCCurdy, who was finally buried in the Boot Hill section of the Summit View Cemetery on Guthrie, Oklahoma on April the 22nd of 1977, with 2 cubic yards of concrete over his casket so his remains would never be disturbed again. Toland Man. Toland Man is a naturally mummified corpse of a man who lived during the 4th century BC during the pre-Roman Iron Age. He was found in May of 1950, buried in a peat bog in the Jutland Peninsula in Denmark, which preserved his body. The head and face were so well preserved that at the time he was mistaken for a recent murder victim. However, he was later found to have died over 1,500 years ago. Autopsies have shown that the cause of his death was hanging. The rope left visible furrows in the skin beneath his chin and at the sides of his neck. However, there was no mark at the back of the neck where the knot of the noose would have been located. The body is currently displayed at the Silkeborg Museum in Denmark, though only the head is original and it is attached to a replica of the body. Otzi the Iceman. Otzi the Iceman is a well-preserved natural mummy of a man from about 3300 BC. The mummy was found in September of 1991 in the Schneeauztal Glacier in the Ötztal Alps near Hauseljoch on the border between Austria and Italy. The nickname comes from Ötztal, the region in which he was discovered. He is Europe's oldest natural human mummy and has offered an unprecedented view of Copper Age Europeans. The cause of death was most likely a blow to the head. The body and his belongings are displayed in the South Tyrol Museum of Archaeology in Bolzano, northern Italy. Lady Di. In 1971, workers in China digging an air raid shelter near the city of Changsha uncovered an enormous Han Dynasty era tomb containing over 1,000 well-preserved artifacts, as well as the most perfectly preserved corpse ever found. The tomb belonged to Jin Zui, wife of the Marquis of Han. Her body is so well preserved that when found it was autopsied as if recently dead, and her skin was supple, limbs could be manipulated, hair and internal organs were intact, remains of her last meal were found in her stomach, and type A blood still ran red in her veins. Examinations have revealed that she suffered from parasites, lower back pain, clogged arteries, had a massively damaged heart, and was overweight at the time of her death. The mystery of Lady Di has not yet been solved, Scientists believe contributing to her remarkable preservation was the 22 dresses of silk and hemp and 9 silk ribbons she was tightly wrapped in. Clothes filled the coffin, which was perfectly sealed, keeping air out. There were inner and outer tombs, which were more than 50 feet below the earth, as well as 4 coffins she was buried in, each inside the other. However, some scientists suspect the real key to her preservation lies in the mysterious, unidentified reddish liquid found in the coffin she was discovered in. Her 2,000-year-old body is currently housed in the Hunan Provincial Museum. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Until tomorrow, goodbye.